Welcome back. The Ministry of Labor and the Public Service has announced the appointment of Attorney Howard Thompson as the new director at the Department of Labor. His predecessor, Robert Farquharson, has been elevated to serve as the executive manager of special projects. Mr. Thompson is a seasoned attorney who has worked in the areas of labor and employment law, dispute resolution, and civil litigation, among other areas. The statement said the leadership change was announced as the Department of Labor prepares to roll out a number of significant initiatives, beginning with the Notice of Vacancy Policy and Enforcement Unit, which will be launched in just a few months. This unit will enforce the law related to hiring of non-Bahamians and the identification and training of Bahamian understudies to occupy roles held by non-Bahamians. The leadership change comes closely after the appointment of a new labor minister, Pierre Glover-Roll, and the creation of the Ministry of Labor and the Public Service. Minister Glover-Roll stated that the move was necessary to enhance senior leadership capacity as the ministry aggressively pursues its agenda. The Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, congratulated a total of 119 officers from the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services who were recognized and honored during an award ceremony earlier this week at the Fox Hill Community Center. You're looking at images from that ceremony. Minister Monroe, in his remarks, assured the officers that the duties they perform on a daily basis do not go unnoticed. In commending Acting Correctional Commissioner Don Clare for his stellar leadership performance, he reiterated his call to continue recognizing and rewarding the men and women who have given unselfishly of their time and service over the years. As the organization continues its month of activities in observance of 71 years of continuous service, the officers were awarded various plaques, certificates, and tokens of appreciation for their contribution and stellar services to the country and to the organization. Police continue to take illegal weapons and ammunition off the streets. Officers arrested a 29-year-old male and a 32-year-old female on Tuesday night around 10:54 p.m. in reference to possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition, along with a quantity of dangerous drugs with intent to supply. Preliminary reports indicate that a team of officers responded to a domestic complaint at a residence in Chippingham, when eventually led to a search of the home. A large quantity of suspected marijuana, high-powered weapon, and ammunition were discovered, resulting in both occupants being taken into custody. The estimated weight and street value of the drugs is unknown at this time. And finally, Sandals Royal Bahamian donated an impressive $100,000 to the Bahamas Girl Guides Association earlier this week. Hotel manager Nick Abruscato says this is one of the largest awards that Sandals Foundation has ever provided, and it is going to one of the finest Sandals Foundations has ever supported. Mr. Abruscato speaks to the tremendous job that the Bahamas Girl Guides is doing.
For a very long time, we realized that we had outgrown our present headquarters, and to meet the needs of the 21st century, we needed a more modern and accommodating facility. As our motto says, be prepared. We embarked on a fundraising mission a number of years ago to raise the necessary funding to construct such a facility. This building that we are in today is the result of our efforts to date. While it is not complete, we are grateful for all the financial support we have received thus far.
The association's leadership of architect Alvin Roll expresses his gratitude for donations. He noted that the Girl Guides are also in need of furniture donations.
Furniture companies, other companies in the Bahamas, I'm quite sure, who will hear this, rather than making a cash contribution, you may be willing to offer us 18 bunk beds and 2 suites. You can deliver those.
The Girl Guides president, Dr. Ruth Sumner, says though the building located on the corner of M. Bethel Way and West Bay Street opposite the Western Esplanade is not yet complete, they are grateful for all donations made thus far.
We budgeted $1.4 million for the construction, as I said earlier, with the exclusion of the elevator, generator, and site works. And in order to complete the interior portions, the unfinished portions of the interior, we are short of, in total, about $400,000. We are able to make do with $200,000 now in order to get started with the training of the young ladies.
use of the building. If you notice, it's been here a while, and we've not been able to use it. And so if we can get this 200,000 right away, we know we can begin using it. We're doing training now by distance education. And it costs, and this is, Albury helped us several years ago along with a grant from Templeton to get the first level of training on distance education mode. It costs a lot to convert training, and there are 4 levels of training. So ensure that our leaders are trained across the Bahamas. We really need to get inside this building. And we also we do have another small grant from another source to downstairs is administration, but it's the Girls Empowerment Center. And this center requires part-time support. It needs equipment. And this is where we have many volunteers, and some of you are on our volunteer list, but you don't know that yet. We do. And we need volunteers to provide the skills for our girls, the soft skills, the communication skills, the skills of decision making and empowerment. And it's not going to be for our girls alone. We want it for the entire New Providence and the Bahamas. A building like this should be, we are not going to be like church buildings that are open once per week. This building will be open every single day. And when we're not empowering girls, we're going to empower women. People need to know how to be good parents. People need to know how to provide simply positive reinforcement for their children. A lot of older, middle-aged senior citizens don't know how to use their cell phones to do their banking, to do more than make a phone call. That's one workshop we have on for parents, for old people. Right away, we know what the needs are. And we've already done a survey in preparation for the opening of our Girls Empowerment Center. And that's the first part of this building that will become operational. Then, of course, the older building will remain the shop. And all Mrs. Albury and those who are former, their life stories of young people are in there. And we're going to have we're going to make it into a museum. And hopefully our kitchen will become a tea room. And we'll look to Sandals again to assist us. And upstairs on the 3rd floor is our dormitory, where we can sleep 18 adults with 6 to 8 leaders. And we would hope that, again, women's groups, we can rent it out, lease it out, because we have to have maintenance for this building. And so we'll need beds and all the, so it's a lot. We need, Keith here is saying, sounds like we need $750,000 more. But we're not greedy. We take it instead. We are determined. We know what the goals are, and we don't stop until we get it. And we thank people like Sandals, like Sonia and Sonta. And we invite the whole Bahamas to help us, because most of them have been girl guides at some point or the other. So
in addition to what Mrs. emphasized this point, the dorms upstairs, the sleeping quarters, we need 18 bunk beds and 2 private room sets for the
and one suite, yeah,
one suite,
private rooms,
the private rooms. So there are furniture companies, other companies in the Bahamas, I'm quite sure, who will hear this. Rather than making a cash contribution, you may be willing to offer us 18 bunk beds and 2 suites. You can deliver those during Christmas.
Because the rooms are ready.
For further details on how you can donate, contact Girl Guides Bahamas by email or by telephone. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jareno Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.